What's going on, guys? It's John Neilbright here with Real Nice Video Games, and just ahead of the Xbox showcase this weekend, it always feels like it's a make or break situation for Xbox every year. It always seems like people are saying if they don't nail this, it's over, it's game over. That's been the sentiment for the past as long as I can remember, especially since the PS4 came in and sort of trounced the Xbox One at that initial reveal in 2013. And since then, the games just haven't landed for Xbox, and we all know that story. And PlayStation's run away with it and it's been producing incredible games, and Xbox has been kind of lingering behind and having to diversify and find these different business strategies to try and compete. But ultimately, it's always been a long game, a long shot for Xbox. They've been building this foundation through Game Pass and through Play Anywhere and xCloud and all these initiatives basically stay competitive in the gaming market, and they're currently being completely outsold by the competition greatly. And of course, Xbox is part of Microsoft, the biggest company in the world, so it's not a monetary crisis for them, but in terms of optics and in terms of being a staple member of the gaming pantheon, they're lingering behind, and they're grasping to find a sustainable future for their company. So I think where we see them now is ultimately the early stages of becoming a third party publisher. And we've seen that just recently with Sea of Thieves, was it Pentiment and Grounded going over to PlayStation. Of course, they've been putting games on Nintendo for a little while, Ori and the Blind Forest and Will of the Wisps and things like that. I think what we're seeing now is the beginning of the end of what Xbox used to be, and it's the beginning of the new Xbox as a publisher. I think we're going to see Starfield head over to PlayStation. We're going to see Hellblade 2 go over there. The rumours now of potentially even Halo 1 remake, which I think that rumours may be a little bit false. I can imagine it will be a Master Chief Collection being published elsewhere, going on to PlayStation, potentially onto Nintendo Switch, which would be a dream. That'd be incredible. But I think ultimately we're seeing the start of a new Xbox as a publisher on all platforms. It doesn't make sense really for them to hold exclusives anymore. It perhaps makes sense to still launch these exclusive games, exclusive first party games, day and date on it. Game Pass, that's the selling point there. And then you have this cadence of 6 months down the line, it comes elsewhere. Sort of the cinema to digital release window for movies. I think that is a strong proposition for them. People are still going to sign up to Game Pass to have that initial playthrough of these brand new games and test them out, especially with games like Call of Duty coming day one to Game Pass. That is such an attractive prospect of paying one monthly price and getting these brand new premium games, being able to play them straight off the bat. You're not committed into paying £70 or dollars, and then you're stuck with the game. You've paid that money. Oh, I need to finish it. Or if you don't vibe with it, you feel like you've wasted your money there. But if you're just paying for a subscription, you give it a go, you play it, it doesn't quite hit, then you cancel your subscription, or you've got another 100 odd games that you can try and play. So that business model of launching into Game Pass and then 6 months down the line going elsewhere, I think is the way it's going to be. I think Starfield, Hellblade 2, these games, potentially the new Gears of War 6, whatever it may be called, and being rumoured to also be on that trajectory with Project Latitude, as Microsoft seem to be internally labelling that progression into multi platform releases. I think this is the way it's going to go, and I think we won't get all of that this weekend at the showcase. I think it will be a gradual rollout from this point on. But I think you're just going to see more and more news about this as the months go on. So that Xbox itself, independent of Microsoft, is financially viable, profitable, and growth is exponential. That's what they're always looking at. It's the bottom line. Satya Nadella, the head of Microsoft, before he came over, had been quoted in saying he would get rid of Xbox if he were to be in charge. So I think obviously said things to the contrary now that he's been in Microsoft, but I think that sentiment still lies in the ether of sort of culture. So I think he'll be looking at how can we make the most money out of Xbox, and I think that is to go multi-platform, go where the players are, go where the sort of brand loyalty is, put your games there, get them played, and Game Pass will be the vehicle to revenue and to exponential growth for them because people will pay that subscription to play these games day one. So yeah, it's an exciting time in the gaming industry. It's obviously a difficult time for the people working in the industry. There's a lot of instability and layoffs, just with the way the industry is panning out at the moment. But in terms of observers and fans, it's an exciting time because there's a lot of change, and ultimately, I think it's going to lead to more games in more places for more people to play. So I'm looking forward very much to this showcase. I'll post a video with my reactions to that here on the channel as well, following. So everyone enjoy, and I will see you next time to discuss the next steps for Xbox.